All right. What's going on, people? Welcome to the Bread and Hope Show. Yeah, welcome to the Bread and Hope Show. It's your boy Bread. Hope is still in the Matrix, so I'll be holding it down to hopefully he gets out of the Matrix sooner than later. And so we here with your boy. We here every Wednesday night, and we start a little early. We're acting out earlier, but we're starting relatively on time. Uh, we're here every Wednesday night from 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. It's the Bread and Hover Show. We are based in Atlanta, GA. That's right. Home of Evander Holyfield. Home of a lot of famous athletes come through and have matriculated through I-75. So, welcome to the show, everybody. So, look, whatever you want to talk about. Although we're primarily in Georgia, we talk about sports primarily in the state of Georgia, around the Atlanta area. But look, guys, wherever you're from, tune in to the Bread and the Hover Show and speak on it, wherever you're from, unless you're from New Orleans. So that's debatable. It's debatable whether you guys got something interesting to say, so that we would like to hear in the GA. But at any rate, thanks for joining the Brandon Hover Show. And glad to have you here. And so, weekend, look, guys, my thing is this. I had to work this weekend, but look, a good weekend for me is pretty much a weekend where I did nothing. Did you do something? Yeah, nothing. Because so many weekends you have to go out and gig, and shout out to Atlanta old school drummers, the world renowned old school drummers. We haven't gigged in a while. I think it's been a little bit slow with the Atlanta old school drummers, AOSD, but I did nothing after I finished work over the weekend. Shout out to a Hole in the Wall food truck. They were awesome. So if you have been to A, check them out. They definitely know how to season the food. So if you like your food seasoned, Hole in the Wall is it. But shout out again to AOSD. We'll be gigging again this weekend. You can find AOSD on Facebook, a lot of old school drummers, or you can find us on Instagram under the same name. And we do all kinds of events. We perform at we've had a wedding we performed at, a lot of special events, outdoor events, indoor events. We've done funerals. We've done family gatherings. We do a whole lot of class reunions, school reunions, all of those types of things. And so we perform. We've done parades. We've done Martin Luther King Day parades and events, MLK walks, Christmas parade here in Atlanta. So we've done various types of parades and different types of events here. So look us up if you want us. We will travel. It's not free, but we will travel. So definitely look us up for any celebration you may have. We will do it. Real quick, guys, and we're gonna bring Lou on for the Enhanced Sports Show. Shout out to Lou; he'll be on shortly. And shout out to Dirty Bird Nation, NFC South. On Facebook page, First and 10, Atlanta First and 10, Dirty Bird Nation, all those cats. So things you can imagine things is popping on social media, especially on the fan pages for the Dirty Birds. After the kind of weekend that we had, the weekend was just horrible. I mean, outside I rested for what? Everything I had, every sports, anything I touched, most of it just turned to poop. Other than shout out to Atlanta United. Atlanta United won 2 out of 3 against International Miami. Lionel Messi and everybody, we did it. So Atlanta United FC moves on to play Orlando. We are still alive in the postseason, just a different team, literally to where we started. A lot of Brad Guzman He's still our goalie, but everybody else, we've been interchanging parts and got new players and stuff. So it's a new squad for Atlanta United. So congratulations to them. Big ups to the Atlanta Hawks, guys. I'm still not in the basketball mode. I think Lou is going to talk to Lou about some basketball, but I'm not quite back yet with the basketball thing. But I did get a chance to peek in on a couple of games. Peeked in on Atlanta Hawks and Boston Celtics. I mean, they beat us by like 30 or 40 points about a week ago. And we go to Boston, into Boston. No Trae Young. No backup point guard. We're missing a lot of players. Missing our starting forward. A lot of injuries left and right. But we go in there and get the win. Jalen Johnson. I mean, we got a lot of players. Okwandu Gu. He 28 big points from him. So the Hawks, good job by the Hawks. I don't expect a whole lot out of the Hawks. They're my guys, but I don't expect a whole lot out of the team. But the thing about it is, hey, that's why we play the game. That's why we play the game. But Hawks got to get healthy. I think the Hawks are going to be a real fun team. Once we get together, we're still 2 games under 500 right now. And so we're still just really just trying to kind of like really just find ourselves right now in terms of what we're doing and our identity in terms of who we want to be up under Quinn Snyder as coach. And guys, I just want to just recap, just a small recap in terms of what went down. The game was really good yesterday. So although our rookie is kind of up and down, Jacare Ricochet, he's really good, but he's still learning the game. He's going to have to put some meat on his bones. But he got 8 points starting. Last night he got 25 minutes. Jalen Johnson, 18 points, 12 boards, double-double. 8 for 16 field goals, 50% from three-point range, and playing some pretty good defense, 3 steals and 10 assists. So Jalen Johnson's our big guy. We signed a big contract in the offseason. He got a triple-double last night. So he got 12 rebounds, 10 assists, and 18 points. Clint Capella sighting, 18 points for Big Clint. And we got 28 big points from Dyson Daniels, new acquisition for the Atlanta Hawks. 7 assists, 3 rebounds, 6 steals. Some pretty good defense last night. We turned the ball over on them quite a bit last night. So excellent game. Larry Nance Jr., 19 big points from him. Okongwu, 15 big points from him. And so it was a great game. I mean, not a whole lot. Jaylen Brown and Derek White were the leading scorers for Boston, 37 and 31 respectively. So, when the Hawks do well, we want to really give them a big shout out because I don't know if we're going to have an opportunity to shout out very much this season. I don't know if we're going to win 40 games or not, guys, but go Hawks, man. Go Hawks. Moving on, we're going to talk about just a little bit, just to let you guys know. We mentioned it last week, so I'm going to mention it again tonight. Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. That's this Friday. I think they have like 5 or 6 smaller fights or prelims rather before that. So, they probably won't get to hitting until like 11, 12 o'clock anyway with all those prelims, 5 or 6 prelims. Yeah, they're not going to get, even if the rounds, they won't be all 12 rounds, but still, I mean, you got that many prelims. It's going to be a while. So I think that fight with Jake Paul and Mike Tyson is going to be 8 rounds. I believe, 8 exhibition rounds. Well, no, not exhibition. This fight will count against their professional record. So Tyson loses this, it'll be, it's not like Floyd. It's not like he had lost, Tyson's lost fights, but I don't know if you want to lose this one, but he's like 60 years old, fighting against this young buck. So I don't know. I mean, but Tyson versus an amateur boxer or just a non boxer, he he's a nightmare still. If you've seen his workouts, still intense, still grueling. So we'll see what Mike can do. But I will say this: the one thing that is undefeated in sports, and that is Father Time. Father Time is undefeated. So what I want to do now, I want to bring in Lou. And so before we talk football, so we're going to bring in Lou a little bit early tonight. Let me see if I can get him on. And voila.
I'm here.
Yes, Lou is here. How you doing, brother?
All right.
Good. Glad you could join the show, Lou.
Thanks.
Oh, awesome, man. So Lou, you are the consummate basketball fan.
Yes.
So yes, you are. Yes, you are. College, pros, whatever. So
I was 6.
Yeah. So I know. Yes. So I know that you've already started watching, taking in some basketball, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So what do you think about what do you think about the Knicks so far?
Mediocre at best. I mean, they're not terrible, but they're not acting like they're playing like a championship caliber team. So they got some work to do. I mean, last night was pretty bad. Tonight they're having trouble against the Bulls. So I'm a little worried. I'm not too worried about them because it's still like early in the season. Well, they won last night. I'm not too concerned right now because it's early in the season. But they gotta start playing more with like a champion team. They gotta avoid. They're making too many mistakes, especially in the fourth quarter. So they have to really work on that.
Yeah, they got to put 4 quarters together, man.
Yeah, but it's like they're playing for 3. That's the problem. You forgot there's a fourth quarter.
Yeah.
Or I'm thinking, wait, we're playing college, we're playing the NBA. Oh, that's right, we're playing 4 quarters, not 2 halves. Oops, I forgot. Yeah, you forgot it, right?
Yeah. Got to do better, man. Got to do better. So
can anybody stop the Cavaliers? I mean, this is sickening. Just absolutely
sickening. Crazy. It's crazy, man. They'll soften it. But I mean, Donovan Mitchell, and everybody else around him, man, the team is really gelling. They were a tough out last year. So as long as they stay healthy, they're gonna win a lot of games, man, because the tide is turning. The tide is changing right now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But speaking of LeBron, man, Bronny, they Lakers shipped him down to the G League. And his production hasn't changed. What's that?
Deservedly so. He is not NBA material. Yeah. Even though the Lakers don't keep him, for when the G League team plays away, but he is not NBA material. But of course, LeBron with his big ego talked the team into it, like, yeah, let him on the team. Just won't be with us all the time, but let him on. So you knew he was gonna use his influence to keep him.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's still in the organization.
That's why LeBron is still there. I mean, you suck, but your father's LeBron. Right. He's going to get what he wants because he has the biggest ego in all the NBA. So naturally, they're going to let him play.
Yeah. This is true, unfortunately, but that's true. Yeah. And the guys can't play. I mean, all right, you made history. You're in the books. You play with your son, but I don't know, man. It's not like Dale Curry and Steph played together, or Dale Curry and what's the other brother name? The other son name? Steph and what's his name? Yeah. And so it's not even Stephon and Steph, and it's not like Seth Curry. That's the other Seth Curry,
or the Bryants. His dad played in the NBA and Kobe played later. I mean, they're associated. They're an NBA family, but they didn't play together at the same time. I mean, and of course, let's remember now that the Jameses are not the first father-son team to play in professional sports. They're the first in the NBA, but no, they're not the first to play in professional sports together.
No. I think. Well, I don't know.
Anybody in the audience want to take a shot?
I won't say they were the first. Was it the Griffey family? Family?
Yes. Griffey family was 1990.
Ken and his pops.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Now,
that
listen, Pop, I hit, and then you try to catch the ball, okay? Otherwise, Mama's going to kill both of us. Yep, I can't disappoint. Can't disappoint.
Oh my goodness, man! Wow,
That's
wow.
a little added humor, folks. That's a little ad lib.
Yeah, look, man. So real quick, man. I'm going to move on to college. Just a little taste of college basketball. Did you catch the game between Duke and Kentucky yesterday?
Yes, I did.
Did you enjoy it?
I think they're making a big thing of Cooper Rush. I mean, I don't think he's, all that he's cracked out to be. I mean, they're looking to be the number 10 draft pick, this year, but I don't think he's going to be ready yet. I mean, he didn't live up to the expectations, I don't think, from last night's game.
Yeah,
I think it was overhyped.
yeah.
I mean, they think it was like well, I don't know if I should say this or not. I mean, this may sound a little bit ridiculous, but the male version of Caitlin Clark, I don't think so.
No,
I mean, a little, but still, I mean, that's what he's comparing him. They're comparing him to.
Yeah, well, look. I mean, women's basketball last year, whether it be professional or college, I mean, women's college. I mean, college game is. I mean, it was much more exciting than the men's game. I just got to say it. I think the whole thing with Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark. I mean, a whole slew of them. Juju, all of them. I mean, it was so many players that and you don't. I mean, for the most part, you really don't know the guys usually into a tournament. Now they're trying to promote early. I give them credit. They're trying to do a good job, a better job in promoting the guys a lot earlier, so you know these names throughout the season. ESPN is going to do their job and kind of promote them. That's what they do, free promotion. And so, therefore, when you're approaching March Madness in the tournament season, you're going to know some of these guys. But come on, man, we're going to still be watching the women's game. Come on, let's be real. There's a lot going on in the women's game. A lot of those young ladies we're going to be watching just as much, if not more, than the guys. It's just an exciting game under the rim. So,
well, I've been paying attention more to the women's game since the '90s when you had Rebecca Lobo, which is like the '90s version of Caitlin Clark, anyway.
Yep.
That's what I look at, because Rebecca ruled women's college basketball.
She was really good. I mean, up in Connecticut, I mean, Gino was on top back then. He was on top, but I watched. I've always peeked in on women's college ball. I mean, going back to Tennessee with Tamika Catchings. When she played, all of those girls went Tennessee, I about Pat Summitt, up under Pat Summitt over in Tennessee. And Shamika Holdsclaw, when she played, she was really good. Lisa Leslie.
I was just to say that.
Yep. So it was just, I don't know, I've always over the years kind of peeked my head in just to see what everybody was doing in the women's game.
Well, I'm just happy that finally the Liberty won a title. Thank God.
Yeah.
27 years and the wait was over.
Yep. Indeed, sir. Indeed was. So we'll be peeking in. I won't be ready full time for basketball until around Christmas, Luke. That's usually when I'm probably more invested, in basketball.
That's when ABC begins its coverage too.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, the game last night between Kentucky and Duke was here in Atlanta, State Farm Arena. Huge, man. Huge. I mean, just huge, man.
Was Jake there?
I imagine he was. I imagine some form of Jake was there.
Yeah. on the bundle and save tour. Oh no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
I swear, guys, I did not write this down. It's all made up.
Man, what we're gonna do, man? We're gonna get this drum pan sound for you, man. I'm gonna find that for you. So,
we're usually showing not usually okay.
Yeah. So we'll tune in. We'll tune in. When it's time with that, man. So let me roll I have to roll over to college football, Lou. I got to do it.
Of course.
I got to do it, Lou. I got to do it. It's just
It's
so
November.
much. Look, Lou, it's so much going on in college football. I would start with this. I would start by saying that it's been a very long time since I've seen so much parity in the league. There's a lot of parity. It's just a lot. I mean, Oregon notwithstanding, Oregon looks pretty good. They don't look like gangbusters, but they look pretty good. They've been the most consistent team that hasn't been hit by the parity. But probably the toughest team they played to date is Ohio State, vice versa for Ohio. Ohio State really hadn't seen anybody outside of Oregon, vice versa. And so people would say Penn State, but Penn State's good. But this looks like kind of the same Penn State you see every year. What's the difference? I mean, they look all world until they play Ohio State, or Michigan when Michigan was good. And they lose like 2 games a year and miss out. So I need to do this, Lou. I need to do this. What I need to do is the CFP rankings came out last night.
Oh yeah.
So I'm gonna mention the rankings. I'm gonna say the rankings. Top 12 are in the playoffs, but I'm gonna start with number 14 because number 14 could get in the play. 14 and 13 could get in when the tournament starts. And I'm gonna say a couple of things about the rankings, but I'm a real quick. Let me do this, Lou. Number 14 is SMU. Number 13 is Boise State. They only lost 1 game.
Mm-hmm.
After losing to Ole Miss, number 16, Ole Miss, Georgia was number 3. Georgia falls from number 3 to number 12.
Yeah.
That was the biggest. I think that's the biggest drop by any school anywhere. Alabama loses. Alabama had a bad loss, and they didn't even drop 9 spots. And so Georgia took the biggest drop, but Georgia has the toughest strength of schedule. Let me keep going. Number 11 is Ole Miss, right ahead of Georgia, the team that beat Georgia. They only lost 2 games to LSU and to Kentucky. Alabama's number 10 after really giving LSU the beatdown over the weekend. Number 9 is Miami after losing to Georgia Tech. All right, they were number 4. They dropped 5 spots from number 4 to number 9 after losing which was a bad loss. Georgia Tech's a solid team, but they were not even ranked. At least Georgia lost to a ranked team, but nobody cares. I'm going back to that. Notre Dame is number 8. Tennessee is number 7. Number 6 is BYU, an undefeated BYU that came close to losing against Utah, but they did what they had to do to win the game. Number 5, Indiana, who hasn't really played anybody as of yet, but they will soon. Ohio State is around the corner. Penn State's number 4. I'm coming back to Penn State. Texas is number 3. Number 2 remains Ohio State, and number 1 remains to be Oregon.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't know, man. Penn State, I'm not that impressed. You said I can just keep picking on Penn State, but I've seen Penn State play.
I get it.
And I am just not impressed. I think Ole Miss would beat Penn State, and Ole Miss is number 11.
Yeah,
I think this is not a great year for Alabama, but I think Alabama plays better football. I think they're a better team than Penn State. I think Miro would really have a field day. Miro,
I think you're right.
Yeah, I'm feeling, but to each his own.
But hold on, Fred. There's only 12 in the tournament, so where'd you get 14 though? It's only 12
Yeah,
in the tournament.
right. I started with 14 because all depends on what's going to happen. A lot of these teams in the top 12 are going to play each other, and somebody's going to lose. Right. So with that, Boise State keeps winning, which they probably will, and they will probably win their conference. They will
So
be
13. So 13 and 14 is kind of like the outside looking in.
Yes, sir. For now.
Okay. Right.
And so it gets interesting. Now, if you recall, Lou, it is the Power Four. So the Power Four gets the top. They get the top 4 seeds, meaning ACC, SEC, Big 12.
NBC.
I'm sorry, ACC. Yeah, I said ACC, SEC, Big 12, Big 10. It's Big 4. The winner,
and of course, you put ABC and NBC. Yeah,
we playing on and Fox. but those 4 teams would get the top 4 spots. You know, I don't know what order, but those 4 teams, whoever wins, gets those, regardless of where they are right now. That it's all about the seeding, not necessarily the ranking, but the seeding. And so this thing, looking at, you know, you have Oregon number 1, Ohio State number 2, Penn State number 4, Indiana number 5. All of that's going away. All that's going away. They're ranked right there now, but at the end of the day, only one of those teams can be in the top 4.
Of course.
Because they're going to, you know, so, you know, they're going to play each other, and only one person can win the championship, and the rest of them are going to go either somewhere throughout the bottom half of the bracket, or they're just going to be out of the playoffs totally. Somebody in the SEC is going to have to win the SEC. It'll probably be Texas. My thing is that I'm thinking that at the end of the day, I'm thinking that it's going to be Oregon, Texas, maybe Miami for the ACC.
I don't know about Miami. Miami had a big loss last week.
They did. Maybe. I mean, but it's either like Miami or, I mean, Clemson had a lot. See, it's a lot of parity. That's why I said everybody's got a loss in the ACC. So somebody with a loss is going to win the ACC, which it may be Miami or Clemson coming out of ACC, which is probably one of the weaker brackets.
Well, I got a big Miami fan on the show, so and he was not happy on last week's loss. Right.
I mean, but we talked about on the show last week. Georgia Tech plays Miami tough. That's just what, ever since they've been in the ACC, that's been just kind of like, you know, just kind of like that tough speed bump that you just hate to play. And that's always just been a tough game for Miami, win or lose. So with that, then you got you know, BYU is sitting out there at number 6. But I think BYU is going to win possibly has a good chance of winning the Big 12.
Yeah.
So that's your number 4 team right there. And everybody, but Lou, Colorado continues to win.
Right.
They beat Texas Tech. And they're like 8-2, 7-2, something like that. But they continue to win. Keep your eyes on them. And they could, if they went out, they will be playing in the Big 12 championship. They're very close. So keep your eyes on Colorado. They keep winning because I think Shedeur Sanders is the best quarterback in the nation. That's me. I think he's the best quarterback. I like him. I like Cam Ward out of Miami. And I don't know, maybe Miro, I guess, 3 or 4. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Miro. And so those are 3 quarterbacks I see in the nation that really look pretty strong, man. I like them. They look pretty good. Quarterback in Oregon is pretty decent, but I like those 3 quarterbacks. They stand out to me the most. So I really like them. But keep that in mind, Lou, as we move forward. The rankings are fine, but the rankings is all about the seeding. And the rankings don't come into play until after the top 4 have been seeded. Okay. And once that's been happening, and Notre Dame is fine, but Notre Dame can never be a top seed. They can never.
No.
They could be They could be number one in the country, but they could never be a top 4 seed because they are not a member of a conference.
Right. Well, they haven't been number one seed since what, 1988?
Somewhere along there, you're right.
92. Sorry, 92. 92.
So I know it was an even year, late 80s, early 90s. Yep. So hey, look, man, you get that NBC money. Then that says a whole lot. That NBC money says a whole lot. So I think that's what you're saying right there. Yeah. It's been quite some time. So with college football, that's where we are. So I think I talked about all the teams. Army's ranked, but no need to talk about it. They're not going to be in the playoffs. They can stay undefeated. They remain undefeated. But it's a novelty to see. I think I talked about everybody else. So
Army and Navy should be a little bit more entertaining this year because they've both done well.
Yeah, you're correct. So that game should be pretty interesting. I mean, it always is interesting, but I think you have really legit good teams for a change at the same time. So I look forward to seeing that game this year. So look, Lou. Georgia lost to Ole Miss 2018. It wasn't close.
Yep.
Okay, that game was not close. A lot of fans down here upset over that loss. It was embarrassing. And it's a tough pill to swallow. But look, I told everybody at the beginning of the season, I told Hova, I said, look, man, we Georgia fans, but Georgia's gonna lose a game or two this year. It's too much parity. We have the toughest schedule in the country. We will not go undefeated. So that's not surprising at all. That's not what's surprising. But what was surprising is how we lost. Okay. The fact that we lost is not surprising. It's the fact that how we lost. And Carson Beck, he only threw one pick, but 186 yards. But he averaged roughly 6 yards of pass. You don't want the quarterback doing that kind of stuff. And so, look, man, they need to let Carson Beck be Carson Beck. They tried to be too conservative offensively. The offense was too conservative because when you change the playbook and your quarterback is struggling, you change the playbook. That's not a good showing to the team in terms of motivating them and believing in their quarterback as the leader. And so if you're changing the playbook because he's having a rough time and say, well, we got to run the ball and just have short passes, anybody can defend that. That's not hard to defend. That's not hard to prepare for. And that's what Ole Miss did. They just pinned their ears back because they knew we were going to pass. We were going to run most all the plays. And so Georgia had 32 carries for only 60 yards. 32 carries. You thinking we get 160. We only got 60 yards on the ground. So Mike Bobo, the offensive coordinator for Georgia, was too conservative. And when you're that conservative in the major game, you're not hard to defend. You are not a threat. The only reason that Georgia came back against Alabama in the second half was they didn't change the playbook. They just told Carson Beck he needs to play better. Get his head back in the game. Keep the playbook the same and take chances. And that's what he did. Carson Beck's going to be Carson Beck. You can't protect him like that. And so when you put him out there in front of the whole world and saying, well, okay, he has a deficiency, that's saying that you don't believe in it. And they're telling the team that you don't believe in him because you're setting everybody back, because you're afraid that he's going to mess up. You don't do that. The playbook is the playbook. Let him go long. Let him stretch the field. Let him do what he does, like what he's been doing. And so I think that was a real big problem between the coaching and player, and he's only going to run the play terms what they call. So I just thought it was just a horrible showing by Georgia all around in terms of the planning and the production and the execution in terms of what we did. It was just, it starts with the coaching. So with that said, Ole Miss did, it wasn't as bad as it probably could have been. And if you look at the stats, look, man, they beat Georgia. If you didn't watch the game, Lou, you say, "Oh man, this go." See, and if a person didn't watch the game, they would say, "Well, 2018, oh, hell, Georgia allowed 4 touchdowns." And so, however, Lou, that was not the case. Georgia only allowed a touchdown. All rest on field goals.
Yeah, but I was like, when I was watching the game when Georgia and losing, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I mean, you've heard of slow starts, but look, Georgia only allowed 1 touchdown, and they only allowed 12 points in the second half. But they only scored 3 points in the second half. And Georgia usually scores, at least 3 touchdowns in the second half. They scored about 4 touchdowns against Alabama. So it was just a bad game plan by Mike Bobo, offensive coordinator, and Kirby allowing that to happen. And so we were easy pickings. We were sitting ducks the whole game, couldn't do anything. And Ole Miss, they scored. They moved the ball down the field rather quickly on our defense, but it was a bend not break defense. And so the defense in my opinion, played well enough. And Georgia averages over 30 points a game. So it was still winnable by Georgia by at least 2 or 3 points. 2.5, which was the line. So winnable game by Georgia, but it did not happen. It is what it is. Jackson Dart throws for 199, just under 200 yards, 1 pick. He got hurt early in the game. They took him out. He came back. And that was that. So you move on. You put that game behind you, Lou, and you move on. And that game was on the road in Oxford, Mississippi. That didn't help. But I don't care. If you're a good enough team, Georgia's won a game on the road before. This is the first game that Georgia's lost in about 4 years against an opponent that was not Alabama. In 4 years, this is the first game we lost in 4 years against a team that was not. The only team we lost to in the past 4 years was Alabama. That's some trivia for you right there, Lou.
Right.
I should set it up, but I didn't. My bad.
I get it.
Yeah. So with that being said, you move on to this week against and with the Georgia-Tennessee game. And so Georgia plays Tennessee. The good thing about it, Lou, is Georgia plays Tennessee in Athens. This is a home game for Georgia. Okay. All right. So it's a home game. And right. And look, Georgia just doesn't lose 2 games in a row. You just don't. Back-to-back losses. This team,
especially at home.
Right. Exactly. This team. So, Tennessee's really gonna have to come with it. I expect for Georgia to be ready. I expect the team to be ready, to be spirited. I expect Tennessee to play pretty tough.
Oh yeah.
But I expect the win from Georgia.
I do expect this to be a competitive game, though. I don't think it's going to be a pushover by any means. I do expect this to be a highly competitive game.
It will be very competitive, extremely competitive. It's a rival game. It's a highly contested game. It's going to be a rival game, and so I expect Tennessee's best game. And I don't have the line here, man. When I look at this stuff and I'm looking at these games, and I try to find a line in the Georgia game.
See if I can find it.
Yeah, I can't.
I'll see if I can find it.
Go ahead and look for it, Lou. I usually. Oh, I got it. I got it. So let's do this, Lou. Let's do a couple of picks, and I'll give you the line. After
Sure.
we do the picks.
Sounds
So-
good line. Oh,
Yeah, I'll tell you the line after you make the pick. How about that?
yeah.
Makes
Okay.
Makes it interesting.
Oh wait.
All right.
Oh wait. Yes.
You got it. You better
Yes,
have
they
a
do. They
line.
do it. Okay. Now this is according to right now, but remember it can change. So let's keep that in mind. Wait. What time was the game again? I forget.
7:30 on
ABC.
Saturday.
Okay.
ABC.
And Georgia is favored by 10 with a total
Yep.
of 48.5.5 points
Exactly. So I take the
as
points.
of now.
Yeah, I take the points. I take the over. But I still say that Georgia wins by 7.
I'll give you
Georgia
that.
never beats. Yeah, Georgia never beats the spread. We just don't. So Georgia didn't beat. So out of all of that, I think Georgia wins by 7 against Tennessee, and secure their spot in the playoffs. So let me go back up again, and let me go. Oh, this is a good one. Utah versus Colorado. Colorado is number 17.
Colorado.
Yeah, I got Colorado on that one too. The line in that game is Colorado by 11.5. Pittsburgh plays number 20 Clemson. This game will be at Pittsburgh.
You know, for some reason, I'm thinking Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh only lost one game.
Yeah.
They only lost one game. I want to take Pittsburgh in this one too. The line is Clemson by 10. I want to take Pittsburgh at home. By less than 10. I take Pittsburgh by 3.
Yeah.
Could be wrong though. Could be wrong. We have Navy, which is pretty good this year. Navy's playing number 25 Tulane. Who you have in that one, Luke?
Oh, wait, repeat that again. I was typing something in.
Tulane, number 25 Tulane versus Navy.
Well, I gotta give Navy credit this year. They've really stepped up their game. I'm not really selling Tulane, so I'm gonna go with Navy on this.
Yeah. I'm going Tulane. They got a pretty good offense, man. So I'm going Tulane. So the line is Tulane by 7. I think Tulane. It's gonna be a high scoring game. I got Tulane by. I'll take Tulane by 7. I'll take the line. Here's an interesting one. This is the one I need Hova on because I don't think he knows this. But Alabama. This is a home game for Alabama. Number 10 Alabama is playing against Mercer. And the reason I'm calling that, there's no line in that game, but the reason I'm calling that game out is because Mercer's in Macon, Georgia. That's our hometown. Both me and Hova, we're from Macon, Georgia. And we know Mercer very well. When we grew up, Mercer didn't have a football team. They just had a basketball team and a baseball team. And as we got older, football team's only about maybe 15 years old or a little less, 15 years old. So it's fairly a new program still. But they are 9-1. They are 9-1, but they are going to Tuscaloosa. So we don't need to pick anybody in that game, but I just thought that I'd mention it. I think it's obvious Alabama's going to win that one. But I just thought that, it would be good to mention.
I mean, we don't know much about Mercer. Because I know they're not really a big school. Well, I think they're very in basketball, but football, I think they're basically unheard of.
Yeah, they are. They play in a small division, small conference rather, and so they're just small conference, and so they're just trying to make a little money for the program, and they have these games against these big schools. This is not the first time that Mercer has played Alabama. They played Alabama before. So, this is not new, but I just thought it was just interesting to kind of mention. And so at number 22 LSU is going to Florida. They're going to the Swamp. 3:30 game on ABC. Who you got, Lou? LSU or Florida? LSU coming out that big loss against Alabama.
I forgot I originally had, but I think I'm going to go to LSU.
Yeah, the only reason Florida's gonna play tough. Only reason I'm going with LSU is because Florida's got huge quarterback problems. They're down to like their third quarterback, man. So I gotta go LSU, and it just so happens LSU it's been picked by 4.5. The line is 4.5 for LSU. I think two more picks. Just lost. Oh, here it is. SEC matchup. Number 23 Missouri versus number 21 South Carolina. Who you got, Luke?
Another tough one.
Yeah, it is.
Well, South Carolina is more like famous like baseball?
No, it's just Missouri is good, man. Missouri, they've had some key wins.
No, South Carolina, because South
Carolina, yeah. Recently,
yeah.
South Carolina, they're bowl eligible, so they got both.
I think I gotta go Missouri here, though.
Yeah, so I'm going with South Carolina. They really played well this year. Should have beat Alabama, but they played well this year. Very well. Scary team. Pretty good defense. Good player. The line is South Carolina about 13.5. I don't think they beat the spread. But I think they do beat Missouri. I'll put the spread by 4 against Missouri. I think their quarterback is hurt. So I don't think he's gonna be all the way healthy in that game. So that's why I'm going with that. And that is the last pick. I think we talked about everybody else that's anybody. All these other games are just kind of so let's go. Let's switch gears, Lou, and talk pro football, man. Let's go in. It's time. So look. First off, Falcons, man, we didn't get it done, Luke. We didn't get it done against New Orleans, man. We thought we would, man.
So did I. What happened?
Look, man. The field goal kicker, Younghoe Koo, left 9 points on the field as well. Missed too many field goals. If he hits all his field goals, Falcons win that game. And usually he's a steady kicker, but he's been having games like this. He'll have a game where he can't hit the side of a barn. Then he'll have games where he'll kick a game winner. He is on. So everybody in Atlanta is so disappointed in Younghoe Koo because we've seen it before. Okay, looks like he's got the yipes or whatever you call it, but he's not looking consistent. And whenever your kicker is no longer consistent, then that's a bad sign. You got to look for a kicker. And I thought you don't want to wait till these guys fall all the way off the wagon and just say, "Oh, okay, now we need one." No, you got to start. Okay, we're gonna let him finish out this contract, but we got to get a guy. Younghoe Koo. Everybody here is just so. People like Younghoe Koo, but this is not the first time the way he's just had a real bummer of a game. And we really lost because of it. Sure, Kirk Cousins threw a late interception or whatever, but look, we dominated the Saints in pretty much every statistical category. We won time of possession. We had more first downs. There's a lot of things we did. Taysom Hill did not get off on us like he normally does. We held the Saints 3 points in the second half. And lost this game. So, and if your field goal kicker kicks one of them, we at least go to overtime. If he makes one of them, makes two of them, makes all of them, which all of them were makeable. then we win this ball game and they're trailing. And our defense was good enough to kind of hold those guys. So Scantling got loose on us in the first half, and the second half we calmed him down. We cracked the safe. So that was a tough loss for us, Lou. Here in the A, man. If we one game that we do not want to lose, we do not want to lose to the Aints. It's kind of like, you know, Jets losing to that team up there in New England somewhere that will not be named. we don't want to do that. So I won't dwell on that loss. All I would say is that we have Denver. So Sean Payton is used to seeing the Falcons, and so that'll be an interesting matchup. Denver has a pretty good defense, solid defense. You know, bend don't break kind of a defense, or just don't break. They're pretty good. So that'll be a test for our offense, but our offense is gonna have to, you know, get some things done because we didn't score any touchdowns. More one touchdown last week. So we didn't look too good. We looked a little off. So we're definitely gonna have to get back on the schneid offensively against Denver Broncos. But at the same time, I know we're gonna be kicking a lot of field goals because of that defense. They don't give up a lot of touchdowns in Denver.
Right.
So Younghoe Koo's gonna have to be on it, or we're gonna have. Yeah, if he flounders again, man, he might as well just do not pack his bags and come back there now. So, you know. So another big problem I see with the Falcons is we don't sack anybody. We're near the bottom of the league in terms of sacks. Atlanta's really never going to be the team that they want to be unless they get a sack master. So I just think that's just a huge problem for it. So what I'll do, Lou, I'm going to start the picks off with Atlanta and Denver. Atlanta has to go on the road to play Denver. Who do you think wins that game, Lou?
Between Denver and Atlanta?
Yep, it's in Denver.
Ooh.
Right.
Well, I hate to say it, but I think it's gonna be Denver.
Yeah. So the line is Denver by 2.5. The thing about Atlanta, I will say this about the Falcons, is that they have not lost 2 games in a row this season.
No,
So
you should have won last week's game.
Should have won last week's game, then dropped this week's game. So now you're gonna lose 2 in a row. So I don't know, man. This team has got a lot of character. They got a lot of fight. I don't know, man. This is a tough call for me. I got to make a call. Jeez, man. I am going, bro. I'm going Denver in this game. I think this defense is going to be too much. Younghoe Koo is just not going to be ready. So I'm going Denver, and I take the line at 2.5. So there you have it. So let's move on, man. Thursday night football tomorrow. We have this is a good one, Lou. We got the Washington Commanders, whatever you call them. They're playing Philadelphia Eagles tomorrow in Philly. Who wins that game?
Yeah. Go either way, but I think I'm gonna go with the Eagles.
Whew. Yeah, I'm going Eagles. Line is Eagles by 3.5. I'll take the line with the Eagles. My picks has been pretty good for NFL this year. All of my pickings have been really solid. Yeah, they've been solid. We've kind of been on the same wavelength this year. So my picks have been really solid this year. I'm happy. We got Green Bay going to Chicago. Who wins that game?
I never won with Chicago, so why do I start now?
I feel you, Lou. I'm going Green Bay in that one too. Jacksonville going to Detroit. Who you got in that?
Lions. Lions.
Yep, Lions all the way. I'm with you, Lou. Minnesota's going to Tennessee. Who you got in that one?
Vikings.
Yeah, I'm going Vikings too. Here's one that may be a little tough. You got the Rams been kind of on a skid. Rams are going to New England.
Yeah. I think I have to go with the Patriots on this one.
Yeah, the Rams have really been on a skid, man. They've had
Yeah.
some injuries too, so I think I'm going Rams in this one. Though I think Rams. I just don't like the Patriots. They're just too inconsistent. I mean, they'll win some. They'll sneak off and win some games. I'm going Rams in this one. I'm going Rams. We got Cleveland going to New Orleans to play the Aints. Who wins that one?
Aints.
Yeah, I think Aints win that one. Cleveland's just really bad, man. I mean, the Aints are bad, but Cleveland's worse. All right, Lou, here we go. We just talk about these Jets, man. We got Indianapolis is coming to New York, man. To play the Jets. Who you got?
I'm gonna go with the Jets on this one.
Yeah, okay. I'm going Jets too at home. I'm going Jets with this one too. The line is Jets by 4, by the way. Here you go, Luke. This is the big one. You got Baltimore going to Pittsburgh, play the Steelers. This game is in Pittsburgh. Who you got?
Pittsburgh.
Oh, this is tough, man. Gosh, man. I want to go Pittsburgh, but I'm going Baltimore. I want to go Pittsburgh. They're playing some really good ball, man. They're really coming into their own. Russell Wilson looks good. Arthur Smith seems to be looking like a genius now that they've taken out Justin Fields and put in the veteran. And Pittsburgh looks really good, man. But I mean, golly, man, that doggone Lamar Jackson is just one of a kind, man. He's the best quarterback in the league. He's right up there with Russ with what's my man in Pat Mahomes. He's right there with Pat Mahomes, man. Those guys are just unbelievable. I gotta go Baltimore, man. I'm still in Pittsburgh, but I'm going Baltimore. So speaking of Kansas City is going to Buffalo. Who you got?
Well, Diane, sorry to break it to you, but I have to go with Kansas City.
Oh God, this is another tough one. I want to go with Buffalo to give Kansas City their first loss, but Kansas City is going to be up for this game. I think this is going to be a close game. The line is Buffalo by 2, but I think it's going to be Kansas City by 2. Brr. That's a tough one. We got Cincinnati going to Los Angeles to play the Chargers. Who you got?
You know, I think I'm going to go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I'm going Chargers too, man. I think Harbaugh has got those guys playing. They're kind of like finding out, coming into their own, finding out who they need to be, who they want to be as a team. And so I think they're going to end up winning this game. All right, last pick, man. It's the Battle of Texas. You got the Houston Texans versus the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys.
Yeah. I'm going Houston in this one, man. I think Cowboys just suck. It's just so bad, man. So I'm going Houston in that one. So, all right, that's all we got for the picks, Lou. We want to appreciate you, man, for joining the show tonight, man. It's been so much fun, man. So much fun, man. Appreciate you joining the show. And so take us home, man.
All right, Enhanced Sports Show rolls on through Saturday, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Number is 512-543-4662. Again, 512-543-4662. We're going to be covering some postseason baseball awards this week. I'm going to cover the so-called fight between Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. I believe that fight is on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yes, sir. On a Friday. Netflix.
So we'll recap this Shambo fight, or what do you want to call it, on Saturday. I got some NASCAR I want to wrap up because of the final race season was held this past weekend. So we're gonna wrap it up for all you race car fans out there. Of course, we'll also have a look at the still with the top 12 college football rankings. NFL and college football predictions. Thoughts on Week 10 of the NFL, if you got any. The NBA and can the Cleveland Cavaliers be stopped? I certainly hope so. NHL, can anybody stop the Jets? Oh, that's just sick. I mean, really. So so I'll take your thoughts on who are your surprises so far this season in the NHL. Next week I'll do the NBA one. Who is your favorite? Who is your surprised favorite this year? Who is the one that just absolutely just freaks of death? Of course, more NHL NBA news and our WWE and UFC wrestling report. That'll be handled by my co-host Steve Davidson. So if you got time between 4 and 6 p.m. on Saturday, 512-543-4662 is the number to call. Don't forget to look us up on YouTube. Type in YouTube and we'll go to YouTube and type in theenhancedsportsshow.com. And next week, your Thanksgiving thoughts as we do one of our annual holiday shows, and of course one of my favorite shows of the year to do. So I hope next week, you call and tune in. Of course, I'd love to see you do it this week, but next week especially, to start off the holiday season.
Oh yeah, awesome. That sounds good, Lou, man. So we're gonna join you and appreciate that, man.
Yeah.
And thanks for joining the show, bro.
You too. And give my birthday best to Hova.
Will do, man. Will do. He's in the Matrix, so we're gonna see if we can pull him out for next week.
Oh, boy, he's always getting stuck in that Matrix. Ugh.
Yeah. we got to get him out of the Matrix, man.
Well, I was stuck in it 2 weeks ago, so
Yeah. It happens, right, man. It happens. So we'll try to get him out for next week. So thanks for joining. Yeah. Let him know, man.
On that note, good night.
Good night. All right, guys. Thanks for joining the Brandon Hogan Show. See you guys next week. Until then, speak on it.